take a moment, go ahead, close your eyes. Take some longer breaths and mark your transition, your shift from whatever was happening before you got here. Maybe things were nice and quiet at your house, at your yoga studio. Maybe they were noisy and chaotic. Whatever was happening, take these few moments, closing your eyes, turning within to make this shift from what you were doing before to this time that you've carved out for yourself for a yoga practice. There's a saying that just when the caterpillar thought her life was over, she began to fly. So this is a shift from thinking, oh, my life is over, to shifting into a different way of being, a different way of moving, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. So in our practice today, we're going to shift. We're going to open up our thoracic spine, mid-back, and also our upper back. Open up our arms and fly in our practice today. Bring your hands together at your heart and make your intention to accept the shifts that come for you in your practice. They may be the ones that you want. They may not be quite what you want, but we will shift our bodies for sure. And if we're really practicing yoga, we'll connect our minds, bodies, and hearts, and in that way shift mind, body, heart all together. And maybe we'll fly as we come into our practice today. Bow your head towards your heart, sealing in your intention to honor the shifts in your practice that might take you into flight. And then release your hands down. Inhale, sit taller, draw your shoulders back, lift your head up, and then open your eyes. All right, let's come on to all fours on our mats, hands and knees. Get settled there. If you want to play music, now's the time to press play. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So stay strong into your shoulders. Let your head hang down. In fact, try to get the crown of your head pointing down towards the floor. Keep your arms straight. And then with the crown of your head pointing towards the floor, take your chin across your chest from side to side, opening the back and a little bit into the sides of the neck. Bring your head to neutral, but keep it hanging down. And then with the arms straight, push the floor away with your hands. So this is a little bit like a cat back, but it's mostly in the upper back. And then bring your chest closer to the floor, arms stay straight. Do that a couple more times, just lifting up and lowering down. And then see if you can start to create circles. So this is circling around in the shoulder girdle, moving that upper arm bone around in a circle, one way a few times, and then the other way a few times. If this is confusing, just wiggle around in those shoulders a little bit. Maybe move your head around, getting into the back and sides of the neck. And then come into neutral. Let's open up the side body. So we'll open up the right side body by getting the left shoulder and the left hip to move towards one another. Lift your right shoulder, shrug it up towards your ear. Inhale, come to center. Second side, open up the left side body. Shorten the right side body by pulling the right shoulder and the right hip closer to one another. Shrug that left shoulder up near your ear. And then inhale, come to the middle. Now start to, we'll do this. Keep your right hand on the ground. Take your left fingers behind your left ear and point your left elbow out to the side. As you inhale, twist up, left elbow, left shoulder reaching up. Exhale, twist down. Keep that right arm straight. Maybe the left elbow taps the right inner wrist. Inhale, twist up, moving through the thoracic spine. Exhale, twist down. One more time, lift up. Take your arm up into the air. That's your wing opening up. And then exhale, hand down to the mat. Second side, take your right fingers behind your right ear, point the right elbow out to the side. Inhale to lift up, twisting open. Exhale, twist down. Right elbow touches the left inner arm. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time, lift up, stretch your arm up into the air, open up, fly that wing up high, and then exhale, bring it down to the mat. All right, so stay with me here. We're gonna do a little bit of a bear pose. So you can do this. This is hovering the knees off the ground. You can do it with the toes tucked under and hover the knees off the ground. Your core will activate more, and this is why we're doing this pose, if you put the tops of the feet on the floor. So if your ankles don't tolerate that, tuck the toes under, maybe tops of the feet on the floor. Stay strong in the arms, hover the knees off the mat. Push down into the top of the left foot. Tap your right knee up towards your right arm, and then bring the top of the right foot back to the ground. Knees are still hovering. Push the top of the right foot into the floor. Tap the left knee to the left arm and back. 4 more times in total. Right knee taps and back, left knee taps. 1 more on the right and 1 more on the left, and then lower both knees down. Here, you're either going to sit back on your knees or stand on your knees, whatever you need to do to free your hands up. Make fists and roll your wrists around one direction a few times, and then the other direction. And then take your hands behind your back, interlace, put the right thumb on top, draw the shoulders back, lift your heart up, lift your gaze up. And then come back to all fours, hands and knees. Slide your right leg back and then spin the heel down to the ground. As you inhale, reach the right arm forward and up. As you exhale, reach it back behind you, down to your hip and towards the floor. Again, inhale forward and up. Exhale, back and down. As you inhale, bring the arm up, take the arm straight up overhead, and then bring your chest forward, take your head back, open across your chest, maybe the front of that right hip, and then circle your hand back by your hip and down to the floor. Lift your back heel off the mat. So you've got the right toes tucked under. And we're basically in plank pose here, almost. So get really strong into your core. We're going to try to keep the hips and the shoulders square. Hover your left knee off the mat and then stretch it back for 1 leg plank. Bring the left knee back to hover. Exhale, stretch it back, 1 leg plank. 1 more time, bring it down to hover. Exhale, back to 1 leg plank, and then lower the left knee to the ground, right knee to the ground. Again, stand on your knees or sit back on your heels. Make fists, roll your wrists around one way and then the other. And then take your hands behind your back, interlace left thumb on top, draw the shoulders back, hands reach down for the ground as your heart and your face reach up for the sky. And then come back to hands and knees. All right. This time, slide your left leg back and then get the whole foot down onto the floor. Inhale, reach the left arm forward and up. As you exhale, reach it back behind you, down by your hip and towards the floor. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, circle it back and around. Inhale, circle it forward and up, and then leave it straight up overhead, and then squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Form a back bend here. by making the back body stronger and bringing your chest forward. Take your head back a little bit. Open maybe even into the front of that left hip. And then exhale, circle your left hand back by your hip and down to the floor. Left leg is still back behind you, but bring the heel off the ground. So just the toes are tucked under. Already almost in plank or one leg plank pose. Get strong into your core. Hover your right knee off the mat. Exhale, stretch your leg back. Inhale, bring it back to hover. Exhale, stretch back. Inhale, hover. Exhale, stretch back. Inhale, bring it forward. Knee down to the mat. Right knee to the mat. Now, exhale, cat pose. Open up the back. Inhale, cow pose. And then come into downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through your nose in downward dog, and then exhale through your mouth. So we did a one leg plank. Now we're going to try the one arm plank. If you've got shoulder issues going on, I recommend staying or coming into just a regular plank. So here we go. Inhale, from downward dog. Take your right hand back past your right hip or bring it right by your right hip. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders square. Inhale, come into one armed plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, one armed plank. This is 2 of 3. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, one armed plank. Exhale, downward dog. Plant your right hand at the front of your mat. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Second side, in downward dog, take your left hand back right by your left hip. Inhale, come into one arm plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time, one armed plank. Exhale, down dog. Plant your left hand on your mat. And then walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Hold on to your elbows with your palms. Let your head hang down. Put as much of a bend in your knees as you need to so you feel some lengthening through the spine, not just lengthen the backs of the legs. Nod your head around, bob it around. And then bring your hands to your hips and inhale, stand upright. Bring your hands to your heart. Find a Ujjayi breath, so toning in the throat so you hear your breath. Make that breath just a little longer than your natural breath, and now we'll flow with it. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky. Ujjayi, exhale, fold down. Inhale, lengthen forward halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high behind you. On your exhale, lunge the right foot outside the right hand. And then look forward and lift your chest forward. So think about lowering the hips a little bit and trying to get the chest to move a little bit more forward. We'll take 3 push-ups here. Inhale, bend your elbows lower. Exhale, straighten your arms. Inhale, bend and lower. Exhale, straighten. One more, lower down. And then exhale, straighten the arms. Take your right fingers, cup them behind your right ear. Elbow points out to the side. Inhale, twist up, lifting up the right shoulder, the right elbow. Exhale, twist down. Maybe your right elbow touches the inside of the left arm. Inhale, twist up. Exhale, twist down. One more time, twist up. And then exhale, twist down. And then plant your right hand just inside that right foot. Inhale, one leg dog. Take your right leg back and up. Bend your knee, twist open. Inhale, straighten your leg back behind you. Exhale, lunge your foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. Warrior two is going to be the way station between side angle pose and reverse warrior. We're going to try to not put our arms down on our body, but to use our side bodies to hold us up. So side angle pose first. Inhale. As you exhale, lean out over your right leg. Right arm reaches back towards the left hip, left arm over the ear. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Left arm comes behind the back, reaching out for that right leg. Inhale up, warrior two. Two more times. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. One more round, side angle. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to take side lunge into the front knee. So you're going to have to turn those front toes forward or out at an angle a little bit, and then side lunge into your right knee. Maybe you get low here. You decide if you're going to stay high or get low. Either way, we're going to twist around to the left. Right hand either plants on the ground if you're low, or if you're high, right hand can come inside that right leg. Lift the left arm up, twist, open, revolve through the thoracic spine. And then as you inhale, come up to a star shape. You got it. Open up the chest. Back bend here, pull the shoulder blades back, lift the heart up, lift the gaze up. And then exhale, back to warrior two. Hands down to the mat. One leg dog, lift your right leg high. Take a vinyasa here. One leg or two leg. Okay, I can't hear you breathing, but I can see you moving with breath, and it is beautiful, connecting everything together. Second side, inhale, lift your left leg back and up behind you. On your exhale, lunge your left foot outside the left hand. And for a moment here, think about lowering the hips, but reaching your heart forward. Look out in front of you, that will help. Couple of breaths just to let the hips open. And then we'll take 3 push-ups. Inhale, bend your elbows, get low. Exhale, straighten your arms. Inhale down. Exhale up. One more. All right, take your left fingers behind your left ear, elbow points out to the side. So you're not gonna move your elbow around to twist, you're gonna move your thorax. Inhale, twist up, lift. Exhale, twist down. Maybe your elbow touches your inner right arm. Inhale, twist up. Exhale, twist down. One more time, lift up. And then exhale, twist down. And then plant their left hand inside the left leg. One leg dog, take your left leg back and up, bend your knee, twist open. And then inhale, stretch your leg back. Exhale, lunge your foot between your hands. Come up to warrior two. Three times we'll rotate between side angle pose and reverse warrior. Take a breath in here, exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Flow with your breath. Inhale up, exhale, reverse. One more time through, side angle. And reverse warrior. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart. Side lunge, Skandasana, into the front leg. So that's your left leg. You'll have to shift your feet around a little bit. Either low or high, we're going to twist around to the right, rotating through the thoracic spine, lifting up, opening those wings up, and then lift up into a star shape. Pull the shoulder blades back, lift the heart up, a little back bend here, flying those arms open, spreading out, and then exhale, warrior two. Hands down to the mat, one leg dog. It's a vinyasa opportunity, however you choose to take it here. Looking good. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or fly forward. Fold over your legs, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms lift up high, look up. Exhale, float down, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen out. I'll see you in downward dog. Listen to your breath. Let it guide you to either coming into downward dog and holding, maybe taking a vinyasa, maybe there's an upward dog in that vinyasa. From downward dog, inhale, lift your right leg back and up. Bend your knee and twist open. Let's try to lift the right hand off the ground. So go slowly. Lift your palm off the ground, just fingertips on the floor. And then lift a couple of those fingertips up. Stay strong in your core. Maybe the hand will come off the ground. Lower the hand back down, stretch the leg back behind you, and then exhale, use your core to plant your foot up between your hands. Warrior one, spin down into the back foot and use your in-breath to lift you up to warrior one. Let's bring the arms out to cactus arms and see if you can press the arms back and lift the chest up. This is a little, we've been twisting in the thoracic spine. Let's see if we can get a little bit more of a back bend in that upper back here. And then stretch your arms up, biceps right by your ears, palms facing one another. Exhale, hands to your heart. Come out of that back bend a little bit. Flare your elbows out to the side. So palms are pressing together in front of your heart. Flare your elbows out and then twist around to the right. You start to feel pulling in your low back or in your left knee, then lift the back heel up. But if you can, keep that back heel on the ground. Twist to the right, twist to the right, twist to the right. And then bring the left elbow down onto or outside the right leg. Fly the arms apart. Flying open, caterpillar, becoming a butterfly. Open up here, keep the arms open. And inhale, lift up, keeping the twist the whole time. Reach the right arm back, left arm out in front. And then as you inhale, sweep the back arm down past the back hip and lift up overhead. You're gonna turn to face the back of your mat in warrior two. Are we together here? Yes. So you're facing the back of your mat. You've got your left toes pointing towards the back of your mat in warrior two. Side angle pose. However you want to take it, forearm on thigh or fingertips to the ground. Get long into your top side body and then see if you can twist up a little bit more, pulling those right ribs and your right shoulder back just a little more. And then inhale, lift back up to warrior two. Goddess stance. So you're facing the left long side of your mat now. Turn your toes out at about 45-degree angles, bend your knees. Here, you pitch your hips back and your chest forward. So you're not upright, You're leaning forward with the chest a little bit. 6, twist. We'll twist to the right first. Take a breath in, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, back to the right. Inhale, and to the left. Inhale, one more, each side. Come to the center and then straighten the legs. Prepare for triangle pose. Back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. So we're going to do this to the front of the mat now. Turn your right toes to point towards what was originally the front of your mat. Open your arms out front and back, straight front leg, lean forward. Exhale, takes you down. And then again, here in your triangle pose, see if you can rotate through the mid-spine. Pull your left rib cage back, pull your left shoulder back. And then exhale, release, hands down to the mat. One leg dog, right leg lifts, one leg vinyasa. I see you, I like the way you look. All right, friends, second side starts right here in downward dog. Inhale, left leg, back and up behind you. Bend your knee, twist open. Let's find a little bit of air time under that left hand. Maybe come on to the fingertips. Maybe lift a couple of fingers up. Maybe the whole palm lifts. Hand back down to the ground. Stretch that left leg back. Core strength, lunges your foot up between your hands. Warrior one, root into your back foot and use your in breath to lift you up. Bend the elbows, come into cactus arms, belly pulling in and up, and then press those elbows, press the backs of the hands back behind you. Take your gaze up. Feel that heart opening. Feel your wings expanding, and then fly them straight up overhead. Bigger back bend in warrior one here. And then exhale, hands come home to your heart. Flare your elbows out to the sides. We're gonna start to twist to the left. So we're rotating through the mid torso here, rotating around to the left, and then take that right elbow down onto or outside your left leg. Twist a little bit more here, and then fly the arms apart. Unfurling your wings. Keep the arms separated, keep the twist. Inhale, lift up. Good. Take your back hand down past your back hip, lift it up overhead, and then turn to face the right long side of your mat. And then warrior two towards the back of your mat. So now you've got your right toes pointing towards the back of your mat in warrior two. Side angle pose. And then inhale, lift up. So turn all your toes to point towards the right long side of your mat. Take your right arm behind your back and your left arm right up by your ear. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're gonna twist to the right and then slice that left hand all the way down to the right foot. So you've got the right arm behind your back, left hand to the right foot, twisting and folding over your leg. Use your inhale and strong legs to lift back up, free the arms, open up the wings. Second side, take your left hand behind your back, right arm up by your ear. Stay strong in the legs, twist a little bit to the left, and as you exhale, slice through the air, down and over your left leg. Right hand onto the left leg or foot, and then fold in and twist. Inhale, lift back up. Open those arms out to the sides. Turn your front toe, or sorry, turn your left toes to point towards the front of your mat and triangle pose. Lean forward and then fingertips down to the ground. Get that rotation through your thoracic spine, your mid back, pulling your right ribs back, pull your right shoulder back. And then release, hand down to the mat. One leg dog. If you want that one leg flow, now's the time to take it. All right, friends, bring your feet up to the top of your mat. Fold over your legs. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment here to turn in. We've been trying to get that mid back to open up, trying to get the arms to open, trying to get some good rotation in. Also, we've been doing a little bit of core work throughout. We're going to test that here. Inhale, take your arms up overhead, palms facing each other. Tone the belly in and up, and then lift your heels off the ground. Look out in front of you and keep your gaze steady here. So you're going to hinge forward at the hips just a little bit. Keep your gaze steady, hinge forward at the hips. Wearing these high heel shoes, just a little bit of hinge forward, and then inhale back up, still balancing on the balls of the feet. And now take a little back bend here, heels lifted. Keep that gaze out in front of you, or if you're really testing your balance, take your gaze up to the sky, lift your heart up in your back bend. And then inhale, come back upright. Now lower the heels to the ground, chair pose. Hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Left elbow comes across. Put your weight into your right foot. Lift your left heel up towards your left hip. Balancing here like a stork. I don't think that's a stork. Stretch your leg back. Lower the ball of the foot to the mat. I think it's a flamingo. Sorry about that. I don't have my bird straight. So now we're in lunge. Right foot in front, left foot at the back of the mat, still holding the twist. Fly the arms apart. Left fingers to the ground, right fingers to the sky. Rotate around here. And then on your inhale, release. Hands down to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale, lift the right leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee, twist open. So this time, if you want to come over, try to use your core to put, come over into the flip. Use your core to put the brakes on it so it's slow and steady. And if you're not flipping over, we're all going to meet facing towards the back of the mat. Left leg straight, right knee bent. Marichyasana 1. Take your right hand behind, left arm up. Exhale, twist around. There you go. Look back over that right shoulder. Use your inhale to sit taller, your exhale to twist a little bit more. And then inhale, release. We've got to get back around to downward dog or one leg dog. It's your right leg that will be lifted into the air. And then plant that right foot up between the hands. High crescent pose. Lift up. As you exhale, circle your arms back. We're going to bring the hands back by the hips and come into airplane pose. You know we got to fly here. Come balance onto your right foot. Keep your right chest or your chest moving forward. Keep your gaze forward. As you inhale, still balancing on the right foot, stand upright, hands to your heart, bring your left knee up to hip height. We're going to keep the hands at the heart, put a little bend into that right knee, and then circle the left leg out to the side, coming back into airplane, going slowly here, flying, and then stretch the hands back by the hips. And then back to high crescent pose. Back foot lands. Inhale, lift up, open the front body. Exhale, hands down to the floor. One leg dog, or keep both feet on the ground and take a vinyasa from here. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Chair pose. From chair pose, bring your hands to your heart. Twist to the right. Again, we're going for an arm balance here. It's called Revolve crow pose. So twist to the right. Work that left arm onto the outside of the right leg, and then work your hands down to the ground, palms onto the ground, shoulder width distance apart. Take your gaze forward, take your chest forward, leaning forward, lift one foot, lift both feet. Strong core helps you lift up here. Good job. Feet back down onto the ground, and then straighten those legs out, release the twist. Fold over your legs and inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Strong core, lift your heels off the mat. Keeping your gaze steady, hinge forward at your hips. Gaze out in front, try to keep your biceps near your ears. And then inhale, lift back up, heels still lifted. Exhale, back bend with the heels lifted. Inhale, back up, heels down, chair pose. Hands to your heart, twist to the left now. Right arm comes across and hooks onto the left leg. Pull your shoulder back, put your weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel off the ground, and then stretch that right leg back, lowering the ball of the foot to the floor. Fly the arms apart. Right fingers to the ground, left fingers to the sky. Rotating around here. Good. Inhale, release. Hands down to the mat. Step back, one leg dog. Bend your left knee, twist open. And then maybe you flip over here and then come to a seat, or you just come down to a seat facing the back of your mat. Your right leg is straight, your left knee is bent. Take your left hand behind, right arm up, sit tall, and then exhale, twist around to the left. And inhale, release. Come back around to one leg dog. It's your left leg that's lifted. And then exhale, plant your left foot up between your hands. High crescent pose, back heel is lifted now. Lift up through the heart. And then circle your arms back behind you and down by your hips. Take a breath in, exhale, fly forward into airplane pose. Get a little lift underneath you. Staying balanced on the left foot, stand upright, hands to your heart, right knee to hip height. This is like circling the airport before you land. Bend that left knee a little bit, circle the right knee out to the side and back behind you. Go slow here, you have the strength. And then land into your airplane pose, hands reach back past the hips. And then high crescent pose. Slowly lower the back foot down, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take a vinyasa here. If your leg is lifted, if you want a leg lifted, it's your left leg that lifts. All right, bring your feet to the top of your mat. Last chair pose of the practice. Lower the hips down, lift into the heart, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Twist your left again. Right arm comes across. We are getting ready for that revolved crow pose. Reach your hands down towards the floor, keeping the twist. Lean forward. So you really have to push off the feet a little bit and let your heart come forward. That will give you the counterbalance to get one or both feet off the ground. Yeah. And then lower the feet back down. Straighten the legs, fold over them. Inhale, rise up. Arms stretch up high. Exhale, hands to your heart. If your ankles and knees allow it, we're going to come into a squat on our mats. If you're not doing the squat, you're going to sit all the way down. We'll meet you there in a moment. So widen those feet out. Bring the arms inside the knees if you can. And then lift up through the chest. Hips low, chest high. And then as you exhale, take a seat on the mat. So bent knees, soles of the feet on the ground. Take your hands behind you. Probably a little bit easier if your fingertips point out to the sides. Otherwise, they can point forward or back. Reverse tabletop. So first, pull the shoulders back, lift the chest forward, and lift your gaze up a little bit. Take a breath in, push into your feet, push into your hands, lift your hips up. Gaze is right up towards the ceiling. Try not to drop your head back and try not to reach your chin forward. Keep your cervical spine neutral. And then as you exhale, lower back down. So we're going to put the things that we've been working on, this bending backward and twisting in the cervical spine and some core strength together into, I call it around the world back bend, but it's really halfway around the world that we'll go. So knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Take your right hand behind you, point the right fingers back behind you, and bring the left arm out in front. So get really strong into that right shoulder by pushing the hand into the ground and lifting your chest forward. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, you're going to lift the hips up and then circle around to the right. So that right arm goes around, left arm goes around to the right, and then reach it back behind you in this one-armed reverse tabletop position. Inhale, circle out the way you went in. Lower the hips down. Let's do the second side. Left hand behind, left fingers point back, right arm out in front. So really get strong in that left shoulder before you start to push up. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lift your hips up, circle your arm around and over your face and back behind you. Yes, it's a one-armed reverse tabletop. Inhale, circle back around, lowering those hips down. Good job. All right. Straighten your right leg out. Or take Janu Shirshasana. Bend your left knee out to the side, sole of the left foot along the right inner leg. So I have one more opportunity to open into the mid back here. Take your right hand a little bit behind the right hip and a little bit wider than the right hip. Stretch the left arm up. As you exhale, it's a little bit of a twist to the right and a big forward fold over your leg. So once you get into the position, twisting, forward bend, you can do whatever you want with your hands or arms. If you want more help with the forward bend, bring the hands out onto your leg, your ankle, or your foot to help draw you into the forward bend more. If you want more help with a twist, bring that right hand out to the right and push down into the right hand as you pull the right shoulder back to help you deepen your twist. Use your inhale to come out of the pose, lifting up. We're going to keep the legs where they are and take the revolved version of the pose. So in this revolved version, bring your right arm inside the right leg. So if you can, get the elbow all the way down to the floor, then maybe you can hook your index and long fingers underneath your Achilles tendon here, give you a little bit of something to pull on. You don't want to yank it too much, but a little bit of leverage there. And if your elbow doesn't get to the ground, just bring your hand to the ground on the inside of that leg. Now, bring your left fingers behind your left ear, elbow pointing out to the side, and then start to twist up or twist open. This twisting that we've been doing here. Keep the twist, stretch your arm right over your ear. So now that left hand is reaching out for the right foot. You may or may not find it. Keep the twist. If you get the foot, but you release the twist, you're not getting the benefit of the pose, because we can get that forward bend. We just did it in the last version of this pose. So here is an opportunity to twist open and bend over the leg. Inhale, release, come up. Let's change sides. Straighten out that left leg, maybe bounce it out bounce the knee out a couple of times, get that blood flow circulating. And then bend the right knee out to the side, right foot on the inside of the right leg. First, we'll take the regular version of knee to head pose. Take your left hand behind your hip and a little bit wider, right arm up, a little twist to the left, and then a big forward bend as you exhale. And then once you land in your posture, use your arms to support you in what you need. For forward bending, hands reach out onto the leg or foot. For more twisting, take the left hand out to the left, push down into that left hand to help you pull the left ribs up and the right ribs down. And then inhale, release your pose, come up. For the revolved version, bottom half of the body stays just the same. Bring your left arm inside your left leg. Maybe palm is on the ground here. If you can, get your elbow, your whole forearm down on the ground, and maybe take your index and long fingers and hook them under your Achilles tendon for a little bit of leverage here. Now, pull the right shoulder back. Take those right fingers behind the right ear, elbow flares out to the side, and then really pull that whole right side body back. You're in the twist, you're in the forward bend, and now stretch that right arm over your ear, reaching out towards your foot. Maybe you grab the foot or a toe, maybe not, but try to keep that pulling back of the right ribs. Just like that. Good. Use your inhale to lift back up. And then straighten out your leg. Bounce it out a couple of times. Good. Come onto your back. Knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Widen those feet out as wide as the mat, and then take the knees back and forth a few times. Good. Hug your knees into your chest and then rock across your back, ironing out any tightness or holding there. And then on an exhale, stretch your legs out onto the floor. It is Shavasana time. If you're following along with the playlist you probably need to fast forward to the last song, your Shavasana song. Once you're settled in your corpse pose, take a big inhale through your nose. And then a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Becoming is a process. So as we become a butterfly, we shift from one way of being into a different way of being. So allow yourself to shift into the Shavasana. It doesn't last long. So allow yourself to really savor these moments of stillness, of connecting mind and body. Use each exhale to take you in a little bit deeper into your pose. It's time to make another shift, emerge from the Shavasana, come out of your cocoon, and fly. Take your arms out to the sides, roll those wrists around, and then stretch your arms overhead. Take another moment here to feel your length. And then as you exhale, come up to a seat and close your eyes. I hope as you go through your day, you're able to weather the shifts from one way of being to another. And know that just when you think something that you might have loved is coming to an end, that maybe something you might love even more could be beginning. To manage those shifts with grace. Let's take a moment to collect our energy together. We'll send it out to those who maybe need a little bit of extra energy managing their shifts from one way of being to another. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.